Thank you for purchasing the Versa Studio BN-20 desktop printer. Let's begin by opening the box and verifying the contents. The box contains your new printer as well as the accessories needed to install and operate your device. Remove the accessories and lay them out to verify all parts are present. You should have a power cable, USB cable, cartridge insertion tool, software, plunger, blade holder, and blade. For the priming and ink installation, you'll need a cleaning cartridge and 4 dummy cartridges. Included in your accessories are cleaning solution, swabs, tweezers, and an additional felt and wiper for routine maintenance. Lastly, media bar, media flanges, clip, and cotter pin are provided to hold the media on your BN-20. A first step guide can also be found in your accessories and should be taken out and used for reference during this installation process. Before moving on to the installation, be sure to remove the cardboard headlocks from the inside of your printer. Apply the label provided in the accessories bundle that identifies the ink set. Be sure that the waste cartridge is in its position. Connect the BN-20 using the provided USB cable. With the front cover closed, flip the main power switch on the rear of the machine to the on position. Next, push the power button on the front of the machine. Open the utility software and you should now see the first screen prompt for installing ink cartridges. Click Next. Make sure to select the correct ink set type you are going to be using and then click Next. Check the inside of the ink slots to be sure they are clear of any debris that may have been left over during the shipping and unboxing process. You will be instructed on screen to insert a cleaning cartridge in the first slot and a dummy cartridge in each of the 4 remaining open slots. Using the provided cartridge insertion tool, load up the 4 dummy cartridges in the appropriate slots. Next, place the cleaning cartridge in the first slot, then click Next. You will be prompted to then remove the cleaning fluid cartridge. You will not, however, need to fully remove it from the slot, but instead disengage the cartridge and pull out slightly. Return to your computer and click OK to verify you have disengaged the cartridge. When prompted, reinstall the cleaning cartridge so that it is fully engaged in the slot again. During this priming process, you'll be prompted to remove and reinsert the cleaning cartridge into the same slot several times before removing all dummy cartridges, the cleaning cartridge, and moving on to the next slot. At this time, you will remove all 4 dummy cartridges and then the cleaning cartridge for the first slot. Again, using the insertion tool, you will then insert the cleaning cartridge into the second slot and then insert the dummy cartridges in the remaining open slots. You will follow the same priming process that was done with the first cartridge slot for this second slot. The process of engaging, disengaging, and re-engaging the cleaning cartridge will continue on until you have completed this with all 5 of the BN-20's ink cartridge slots. Once your BN-20 has cycled the cleaning solution through the channels, the on-screen prompt will indicate it is complete. Once you have primed all 5 channels, the on-screen instructions will prompt you to hold while the cleaning fluid works through the system. Once it is finished, you will be instructed to insert the ink cartridges. Be sure to shake each cartridge and to match up the right color cartridges with the diagram on the ink cart slots. The ink filling will begin automatically. You will then be prompted to click Finished when the process is complete. The next step is installing the blade on your BN-20. Begin by inserting the pin into the blade holder. Then insert the blade in the opposite end. Open the front cover of the BN-20 and loosen the thumb screw on the cutter carriage. Insert the blade holder into the open slot and tighten with fingers. Give the blade holder a slight tug to ensure it is secure, but do not over-tighten. You are now ready to load media on your BN-20. This is a simple process, however, attention must be paid to be sure it is done correctly so that the media feeds properly into the machine. To begin, slide the media bar into the flange that will have the pin in it. Secure the pin and place the media onto the bar followed by the second flange. You want to be sure that the roll will feed in a clockwise direction when looking at it from above. The flanges can be used for 2 or 3 inch cores. With the media loading lever in the open position, place the roll into the back of the machine. Make sure the roll is feeding to the printer from the top of the roll. Adjust the media guide so it is flush with the media flange. And also be sure the media is feeding under the media clamps in the front of the machine. Push the loading lever forward into the closed position. The light on the power button will flash. When it stops, the media is loaded and you are ready for the next step. Now that all the contents have been removed from the box, the next step is installing your BN-20 software package. Insert the disk into your computer and click Run when prompted. Once the Install menu appears, click Install for both the drivers and utility. On the driver setup screen, check Install. Select BN-20 for the model name and USB for the port. If the security screen pops up, select to install this driver software anyway. Once the driver install has completed, continue to install the utility software following the on-screen instructions. When finished, check to make sure you are running the latest version of the utility software. If you are not, please update. To update, start by visiting www.rolanddga.com and go to the BN-20 product page. Select the technical support page where you will find the latest drivers and utility software. Click on the latest version of the utility software. Extract the zipped files after downloading and then run the updater.exe file. Both the driver and the utility are necessary to run the BN-20. If you will be using a third-party design program such as Corel or Illustrator, it is not necessary to install RWorks. If you need to install RWorks, select the BN-20 Software Package tab and click Install. From here, you can follow the on-screen instructions. Click Finish once the software installation is complete. In order to be sure your BN-20 is set up to get the most of its printing and cutting capabilities, we need to make some initial adjustments. To begin, click on the BN Utility icon located in your computer's task tray. In the utility, open the Adjustment tab and click Adjust All. The first step is to make sure the ink is able to flow through all nozzles of the printhead. Click Test Print and a pattern will be printed on the media. Take a moment to look over the pattern. Look for areas where the nozzles are not firing as seen in this example. If you find areas that could be improved, run a normal cleaning by clicking on the drop-down menu below the Test Print button. Select Normal Cleaning and click Go. Perform another test print and check for improvement. If you still see areas that have missing nozzles on the test print, run an additional normal cleaning. If the problem persists, you can try moving up to a medium cleaning, but in most cases, the normal cleaning will be effective. Next, we want to move on to the bidirectional adjustment. Click Test Print and the test pattern will be printed. Several vertical lines will be printed across the scale. You are looking for the line that has the least amount of overlap. Once you've identified that line, enter the value listed underneath as the new value, and this adjustment is complete. The next screen will be for the sheet feed adjustment. This is done to correct any feed direction offset. Click Test Print and a test pattern will be printed. You are looking for the area with the least amount of overlap as well as the least amount of space between the squares. Next, we need to set the cut force for the material we are going to be printing on. In our example, we are using a standard glossy calendared vinyl, which typically requires 70 grams of force. To be sure, we will perform a test cut. The test pattern will be a square cut inside of a circle. If the pressure is set correctly, you should be able to peel off each shape separately. If the cut shapes do not pull away independently, you will need to increase the force and run a second test. If you notice the blade has gone through both the top layer as well as the backer of the media, you will need to decrease the force and repeat the process until you achieve the desired cutting results. The next calibration will be the print and cut pattern. This test is vital to ensure your print and cutting matches up. Begin by clicking on the Print and Cut Test button. The BN-20 will print 2 black squares on the left and right side of the media, return to origin, and then perform a contour cut around the square. Check for any offset between the printed square and the cut placed around it. If you find it's offset, use the on-screen instructions for visual reference and enter the necessary new value for both scanning and feeding. Click Apply. You are now ready to perform the crop cut adjustment, which follows the same process as the print and cut adjustment. Change any values as needed. Once you have verified the print and cut and crop cut offset has been corrected, you can continue on to install Roland VersaWorks. Insert the included VersaWorks software disk into your computer and click Run when prompted. Choose the appropriate language for the installation. The default is English. The Install Shield wizard will then guide you through the setup process. Your information can be entered under the username and organization. However, in most cases, this will be left as admin by default. You will be asked if you want to install the printer. By default, Yes is selected and the name Roland VW is entered in the name field. Leave this information as is and click Next to continue. The program is now ready to install. Click the Install button to proceed. Please note that the time has been sped up in this video and the actual installation process may take several minutes. Once the installation wizard is complete, click Finish. Roland VersaWorks will open automatically. Under Printer Settings, choose USB and select the port in the drop-down menu. Click Verify and be sure VersaWorks recognizes your printer, then click Apply. You do not need to install the driver as this has already been done. VersaWorks is now installed and ready to use with your BN-20 desktop printer. For additional educational videos on using Roland VersaWorks and the BN-20, visit www.rolanddga.com/Roland Academy. This completes your installation of the VersaStudio BN-20 desktop printer.